Hello, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to start a sequence where we're going to learn how to add and subtract radicals. Now, before we get to the radicals, I want to draw your attention to kind of an analogy, and this analogy is going to help you. Way back early on, I taught you how to add things like 3x plus 4x, right? And I taught you to look for like terms. And basically what we said is that if you're going to add something like this to something like this, the variables need to be the same. In other words, the letters have to be the same and the exponents have to be the same. In this case, it's x to the 1 power in both cases. So because everything matches, you can add these guys together. And of course, you all know that that's 7x, right? Another example might be, let's do like, 2x squared plus, 3x squared, all right? And in this case, we see that we have the x squareds here and the x squared here. So these are like terms also. So the 2 and the 3 are going to give you what? 5x squared. Now, the basic idea behind this is in algebra, you need to be able to add things that are alike, right? So you can think of this as 3 pencils plus 4 pencils. And you can add pencils to pencils, and that'll give you, in this case, 7 pencils. And in this case, it's x squareds, but this could be like 2 apples and 3 apples. The x squareds are kind of like entities. They're things that you're adding together. And so we can add them if they're alike. Now, if you have something like, 6x squared plus x plus y, we can't really do anything here. We can't really add anything here because we have an x squared, we have an x, even though the variable matches, the exponent's not the same. So they have to match exactly. And then we have something completely different called y. So when you try to add this together, you really can't do anything. You just leave it like this. This could be maybe 6 apples, this could be 1 orange, and this could be 1, car. You can add numbers, of course, but really when algebra, you're really trying to add things that are alike. All right, so we're going to take this idea to the next level because you already really know about the concept of adding like terms, and we're going to apply it to radicals because it's easier if you kind of think about what we've done in the past when we go forward. So for instance, if I have 8 times the square root of 3 minus 6 times the square root of 3, you need to kind of think of this as, notice like in this case it was 3x plus 4x, these were like terms. Well, these guys are also like terms because the square root of 3 kind of behaves like the x, and the square root of 3 kind of behaves like the x here. You see these radicals, they're identical, and they have to be exactly the same in order to add or subtract them. That's why I kind of went through all of this with you to remind you that when you're adding or subtracting like terms, everything has to be the same. So this is like 8, you can think of it as apples, minus 6 apples. So whenever you actually do it, 8 minus 6 is 2 apples, for lack of a better word, 2 square roots of 3. So the bottom line is, for all of these problems, when we do adding and subtracting radicals, the only way you can add them or subtract them is if the radicals match exactly.